Good morning and welcome to the 116th USC Alfred E. Mann School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences Commencement Ceremony. Today we will confer degrees to 357 graduating students in the following disciplinary fields: Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical and Experimental Therapeutics, Doctor of Philosophy in Molecular Pharmacology and Toxicology, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmaceutical Sciences, Doctor of Philosophy in Health Economics, Pharmaceutical Economics and Policy, Doctor of Pharmacy, Doctor of Regulatory Science, Master of Science in Molecular Pharmacology and Toxicology, Master of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences, Master of Science in Pharmaceutical Economics and Policy, Master of Science in Healthcare Decision Analysis, Master of Science in Regulatory Science, Master of Science in Medical Product Quality, Master of Science in Management of Drug Development, Master of Science in Regulatory Management, Bachelor of Science in Biopharmaceutical Sciences, Bachelor of Science in Pharmacology and Drug Development, and recipients of Certificates of Residency and Fellowships. For your convenience during today's ceremony, restrooms are located in both Lewis Hall, which is directly behind Doheny Library, and Taper Hall, located off of Truesdale Parkway. Please ask any of our student ambassadors for directions, or stop at the check-in area for further instructions. Today there will be a number of professional photographers capturing moments as graduates receive their degrees. Graduates will receive the picture proofs in just a few days. Other pictures will be posted online and the link will be sent to all graduates. For everyone's safety and enjoyment, we ask that you please do not step into or block aisles at any time. Event security staff will ask you to be seated if you are standing in the aisles. So please, remain seated at all times during the ceremony. Today's ceremony will be live streamed on the USC Commencement website at commencement.usc.edu. And now, please stand for the graduate processional. And now, please welcome the graduating class of 2023. And now, please welcome the Dean of the USC Alfred E. Mann School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, Vasilios Papadopoulos.
We love you guys. Good morning. Good morning. What a beautiful day. So, I know I should tell you to be seated, but I like to see you up there. So please be seated. So, welcome graduates, parents, spouses, partners, friends, and relatives. Welcome faculty, colleagues, staff, alumni, and distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Janet Wright, and some members of the Board of Counselors for the school who are here. My name is Vasilios Papadopoulos, the Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Today, we join together in person at the University Park campus to honor the graduates of class of 2023. Today is a day of celebration and joy. To the graduates, I will simply say that I'm very proud of you. I know that your parents and families are proud of you. The Trojan family is proud of you. Let all of us give you and your families a hand for this achievement. Today is our school's 116th commencement and our first such celebration under our new name, Alfred E. Mann School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. This is also the first time in many decades that the school's commencement ceremony is held at the University Park campus. Our school was founded here, actually, in this campus in 1905, and our headquarters remained here until the 1960s, when many of the offices and facilities were relocated to the Health Science campus. The Mann School, again, has a significant presence now on this campus, which is home to our rapidly growing bachelor's program, as well as to our pharmaceutical, health economics, and policy faculty. So today's historic occasion, and a fitting one for this remarkable class of 2023, which has accomplished extraordinary things and helped make history in your own right. I know all of us already forgot about COVID, forgotten about masks, forgotten about shots, everything something in the past. However, when COVID-19 took hold in spring 2020, much of the world was shut down. But our work here continued. Many members of the class 2023 sitting here today took up the cause courageously and with innovation. Through it all, our pharmacists in training, along with colleagues from past graduating classes, stayed on rotation in clinics, hospitals, other facilities, and volunteered at vaccine distribution sites throughout the community. The crisis also inspired many of our bachelor students to continue their studies aiming at the pharmacy profession or careers in drug development or regulatory affairs, knowing these are fields in which they can make a meaningful difference and in countless lives. We all stepped up to this challenge. We forgot, but more than 1.1 million Americans, including 35,000 Angelinos, died from COVID-19 or its complications to underlying conditions. But another statistic is just as important. More than 1 million vaccines were distributed and administered by our students, faculty, and alumni. Those vaccines saved lives. To every single one of you who you are here, you step forward. I can tell you that you absolutely saved lives. Mothers, fathers, and children, old and young, from every possible walk of life, are alive today because of you and your heroic response. This collective experience also underscored another important shared value that really I'm very proud for that in the school: diversity, equity, and inclusion. In what is often a very polarized world, it has been really heartening to see the impact of our commitment to unity, inclusivity, equity, and diversity. When I watched the long lines snacking around one of our vaccination sites in Lincoln Park, no one was turned away, race, gender, financial status, politics, who cares? They were really irrelevant, as they should be. These were your patients, these were your people, and we labor long hours to preserve and save their lives and the lives of their loved ones. We also learned so much about how pandemics emerge and spread, and how they can be countered and contained, how we can join together frontline pharmacists, scientists, health economists, regulatory experts, healthcare providers to find new ways to extend and improve, and yes, save lives. At the same time, we never lost sight of other pressing health challenges facing society, from cancer to autoimmune diseases, cardiovascular conditions, neurodegeneration, Alzheimer's, substance use and abuse. Our students continue to work on groundbreaking advances. Our clinical pharmacy students deploy new models of medication management and care that will improve patient outcomes. Our health economics and regulatory science students are committed to learning how to generate evidence-based solutions that will inform policy, speed innovation, and reduce disparities in care and access. The fields of pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences have the power and the mission to save and enhance lives. All of you, the graduates of our more than 16 degree programs, our fellowship and residency fellows and the programs will use the knowledge and skills that you have gained to help others in future crises. Your work may make healthcare and medication more affordable and accessible. You have the expertise, you have the compassion, the courage, and the dedication to step forward again. The world is counting on you, and we are counting on you. Those you help save may never know your names, and your names may not be emblazoned in bronze on any wall. But these diplomas bearing your names are a testament to the difference you have already made and are destined to make in the future, in the lives of people everywhere. We face many challenges in improving well-being now and for the future, from the rising rates of chronic disease and opioid overdoses to improving health equity and healthcare access, eliminating pharmacy deserts, and so much more. Pharmacists, pharmaceutical scientists, health economists, regulatory experts must always remain a resource for medical innovation and community care. No matter which aspect of our profession you'll be entering, I know you will each make your remark on advancing this and other vital public health claims. So you really did it on every aspect. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the 2023 Doctor of Philosophy speaker, Dr. Samuel Kenneth Garza.
Good morning, everybody. So, as we gather here to celebrate commencement, I want to start by asking you a question that I asked a fellow graduate a few days ago. What do you wish you learned? Not to be confused with what do you know now that you wish you knew before. No. But what do you still not know, and what are you still seeking? This question centers on the acknowledgement that as we gain knowledge, we realize the vastness of what we do not know. What do you wish you learned? As you embark on your next phase of your lives, you're more prepared to change the outcome of your answer to this question. Years ago, this question may have seemed overwhelming. In our quest for knowledge, we often become preoccupied with demonstrating our competence, projecting an image of strength and infallibility. But the vulnerability of uncertainty is not a weakness. It's an opportunity for growth. Embracing vulnerability means acknowledging our imperfections, accepting our fears, and allowing ourselves to be seen as what we are in our true individual selves and how we can grow. When we admit that there are things that we still need to learn, we create a space for curiosity, empathy, and deeper connections with those around us. We've done that with our peers in graduate school, working, studying, and supporting one another. And even now, I see many of you sitting with the friends you made along the way, supporting one another in this final moment. And it's good to see that in the Mann School, it's not every man for himself. It took you all a second. So how do we go about learning the things we wish we learned? We do so by harnessing the power of this technology and resources which satisfy our curiosity. We spend our graduate programs learning how to fulfill the requirements of our curriculums using different learning styles and techniques that work for us as individuals. And as we stand on the precipice of this new chapter, our next curriculum is ours to design. We're no longer bound by the structure of formal education and final exams, which we all passed. You're free to explore the uncharted territories, dive deep into your passions, and cultivate your unique talents. As you sculpt the blueprint of your future, you may find inspiration in being the architect of your own destiny, with a canvas waiting for you to paint it with the vibrant colors of your design. In conclusion, as you leave this institution armed with fresh knowledge and new perspectives, let the question, "What do you wish you learned?" guide you on your continued journey of self-discovery and growth. By doing so, you'll create not only a life of purpose and meaning, but also inspire others to embark on their own journeys of learning and exploration. Learning doesn't end with a diploma, and it's our responsibility to stay curious and take ownership of our education. The world's an infinite source of knowledge, and staying curious will keep you engaged and evolving. May you continue to face future challenges with the same determination and resourcefulness that you've demonstrated during your time at USC, and let this be your one small step for man moment. Thank you, and fight on.
Please welcome to the podium Doctor of Pharmacy and PharmD Class President, Dr. Ryan Johnstonbaugh.
So to start, I wasn't going to expect to be a doctor already, but we're here. But I wanted to start by thanking you all, graduates, friends, family, honored guests, faculty, for being here with us today on such a momentous day of all things. We have the opportunity as students of the USC Alfred E. Mann School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences to pass the threshold from being students to being something much greater. And today means a lot to all of us, and it may be something different for each of us. For some of us, we're finally done, and I think it's about time we all deserve a nice break. For some of us, this may just be the beginning of a further education. Perhaps there's much more that you want to gain from here. Perhaps there's much more you want to learn. And for some of us, this is simply just the step into our next journey. Regardless of what the direction we're heading after this moment, I want us to recognize now who we are now and what happened to get us here. The trials, the struggles, the highs, the lows. So much has happened over these last 4 years, and sometimes it's very difficult to comprehend what has just happened. As the dean mentioned before, there has been the biggest thing that ever happened in our lives as far as the COVID pandemic is concerned, and it changed so much for us. From the drastic shift of the day-to-day structure to the pain and suffering caused by the loss of loved ones that many of here had to experience. I really can't even begin to describe how much we each went through during this time. However, during this as well, it kind of comes to a shock that this didn't stop any of us. As the dean mentioned, there's so much that had been done, so much that we achieved, so much we were able to do, even with these struggles in our way. From those who actively helped in the community efforts to slow the spread of the disease, to those who cared for the suffering, to those who actively went out and made sure that they did their part. Each of you has helped shape this current environment, and I really want to thank all of you for what you have done. As these 4 years come to a close, I really want you to keep one thing in mind. In fact, I ask you, if I may, please remember these 4 years. I want you to remember what it took to get here and the lessons that you gained. Remember what worked for you, what didn't. Because much like you went to others in order to prepare for today, so too may you find others coming to you in the future looking for the same goals. Though we may not realize it, we soon will be the goalpost that others strive to achieve. We may be the individuals that others are secretly making fan club text messages for because of their adoration for their professors, their faculty, and preceptors. And when that time comes, it'll be up to us to lead those students in the right direction. I know it sounds like a challenging task, but as the memories are still fresh, I really believe we already have all the answers we need. I believe in order to ensure that this profession stays true to its purpose, we must look to those who walked before to lead those who walk after. This process is never ending, but thankfully you all got through 4 years like this, and I really trust you for the steps to come. Thank you all so much, and congratulations, everyone.
Please welcome to the podium our Bachelor of Science speaker, Eamon Obenor.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and a wonderful morning to all the graduates of the USC Alfred E. Mann School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, class of 2023. I am honored and ecstatic to be one of your class speakers this year. These 4 years have gone by so fast, so I would like to take this opportunity to reminisce about my experience while at USC Mann. I remember my excitement when I was first accepted into USC in 2019, the patience it took to adjust from studying into my childhood bedroom to a college dorm with no AC. The feeling of deja vu I had when I found myself studying back in my childhood bedroom in 2020. I am also thinking about how nice it felt to finally experience one normal college year back on campus. And now, this moment. It is amazing how so much can happen over the course of a few years, yet seem like only a second. Reaching the end of this chapter, there's a feeling of excitement because we're done, and with that, there's a feeling of relief. But there's a lurking fear when thinking about what is next. Regardless of the range of emotions we may feel, one common thing we can all say, whether you have just completed your bachelor's, your master's, or your doctoral degree, is that we all did it. We are all here because we all had a dream to reach a goal. We all worked tirelessly to prepare ourselves for the bright future we set our sights on when we first accepted our offer to study at USC Mann, or in my case, when I accepted the offer into Dornsife and transferred out a week later. Either way, we all had a goal we decided to keep working towards, even when life became so uncertain during a global pandemic. The goal that we are all one step closer to as we sit here together, ready to cross this stage, because we all did it. We may be ready to start thinking about what is next, but I ask that you all first take a moment and think of what you've just done. College was hard. It was not just hard because of all the new information and skills we gained, but because there was so much change and growth happening in such a short time. There wasn't much time to take in how we changed from our first year until now. Maybe the reason why is because we were awake at 2 a.m., cramming for our exam at 8 a.m. But that stress is now in the past, for now. So I encourage everyone to take this opportunity to think about what has changed within you. How have you grown? Take time to examine what has made you a better friend, a helpful classmate, what has made you strengthen your drive to keep achieving great things. With this in mind, appreciate that to grow into this new you needed to be willing to change, which is not easy. If 2019 me had been asked to stand in front of an audience and give a speech to my graduating class, I would have been terrified and looked at the offer sideways. 2023 me, however, is still terrified, but excited to have this opportunity, and that's growth. Although I have a plan for what is next for me, I don't know how I will change with these plans, and that can be a bit scary. But change is an inevitable cycle. As we continue to grow in life, change just keeps cycling on. So instead of worrying about what these changes are, just accept that they will happen. Keep focusing on your goals you have set for yourself, and be proud of your willingness to change. And as always, never forget to fight on. Thank you.
Thank you. Earlier this month, the World Health Organization downgraded COVID-19. It is no longer a global health emergency. Now we continue to face another global health crisis, that of chronic disease. specifically cardiovascular disease, the leading cause of death around the world and a huge contributor to disability and rising healthcare costs. Our distinguished keynote speaker is a cardiologist who has dedicated her career to solving these intractable problems. Dr. Janet Wright is a director of U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention Division for Heart Disease. She is a longtime leader in the Right Care Initiative, an effort to reduce heart attacks and strokes for Californians, and now this has a national influence. For 8 years, she served as executive director of A Million Heart, a national initiative to prevent 1 million heart attacks and strokes in the U.S. within 5 years. Dr. Wright preaches and lives collaboration and is full supportive of pharmacists as part of the care team. Please join me in welcoming our 2023 distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Janet Wright.
I am so honored to be here to celebrate with you today. And I'd like to take one more moment to congratulate you on your magnificent achievement. Could we hear just one more round of applause for you? And now, you graduates, I'd like for you to have the opportunity to raise the roof in gratitude for your friends, your family, and for the USC faculty that loved you, supported you, and let's be frank, tolerated you at times to get you to this point. So, thank you, family. Now, on to the serious stuff. When I got the email inviting me to be your commencement speaker, I did what all of us do when we get an email like that, some crazy thing. You take your cursor up and you hover over the thing to see what scammer has decided to fill up your inbox with things that never happen. And it came on behalf of the leadership, but through my friend and esteemed colleague, Dr. Chen. He doesn't play jokes, not on me anyway, so I followed up with him, and the whole process of confirming that this opportunity was real made me realize that I instinctively said yes, internally. I didn't say that to him, but internally I said, are you kidding me? Absolutely yes. Well, I am prone to self-examination, introspection. I'm not going to go all Socratic on you, but I pretty much did. It's like, why did I know right away that this was something I want to do? I'm not on the commencement speaker circuit. So this was new, and this was scary. I didn't go to USC. I don't know any of you. I don't think I know any of you personally, but the feeling I had was one that was intensely personal. Yes, I'm in. So a couple nights later, in the middle of the night, I found myself saying, why did I say yes? Not in the manner of, why did I say yes? But what drove me so quickly to be sure this was the right thing to do? So what did I do? It's what everybody in public health does. You do an environmental scan. You start interviewing what we call SMEs, right? Subject matter experts. So I polled leadership up here to get to know you better. To understand the world that you've been living in. And I will tell you, I did a pretty much deep dive into my own roots. And I have come up with reasons that I am here. I'm going to walk you through those in a minute, but I also want you to know that another question that came up quickly was, what can I bring? What can I bring you all today? And thanks to all of my colleagues, my new family up here on the stage, I'm bringing you a gift. And I'll tell you what it is. We'll come back to it at the end. But what it is an image. And I've started thinking about it as a little tattoo. It's a little brain tattoo or heart tattoo, depending on where you think your guidance comes from. But I'm going to give you that tattoo at the end. I'll give you a hint. The tattoo's name is Polly. So where did this alignment, this resonance of pharmacy and pharmacists with me come from? I was born in the land of cotton. I was born in the land of the blues, blue suede shoes, and what I now know in public health speak is a large and disproportionate burden of chronic conditions, chronic disease. The good news, the luck for me, is that I was born into a team. My father was a primary care doc. My mother was his nurse. They practiced in my little hometown of 3,200 people for over 50 years on the Arkansas side of the Mississippi Delta. And I grew up answering the phones in Wright Clinic at nights, weekends, holidays, when the real receptionist was home trying to recover from the previous work week. But the family I grew up in, or the team I grew up in, didn't even begin to end there. There was the ambulance driver who lived across a cotton field from us, no kidding. His name was Flash. I kid you not, Flash, the ambulance driver, his name Flash. But he took the emergencies, the people who were in dire straits, the gunshot wounds, the cotton gin accidents, the crowning baby, off to the hospital, which was miles away. But one of my favorite team members, and here is where the resonance comes from, was Mr. Crook. Mr. Crook was our town's pharmacist, and with his wife, they were proud owners of the Rexall Pharmacy, and they were on call 24/7. He and she delivered prescriptions for people who couldn't get into the store. They problem solved with folks who needed medications and couldn't afford them. They also kept my dad up to speed with what I now know was academic detailing. Yes, even back then. Mr. Crook supported the football team and the Future Farmers of America, and he bought a big Rexall sign for the outfield fence of the baseball field. He and his wife served his fellow Methodists as an in-pew health expert, just like my parents did for the Presbyterians. So I'm not taking you through my past history out of some warm, fuzzy nostalgia for the good old days. First of all, they weren't all good. My little town depended heavily, in fact almost solely, on agriculture. So a bad crop year meant lean times for everyone. The farmers and their families, small business owners, teachers, and of course the farm workers themselves. These traumas always hit hardest for those who have the least to begin with. In the early years, Wright Clinic was segregated. I remember overhearing my parents' late-night kitchen table decision to abolish that separation, to create one waiting room, one set of exam rooms, and a single door. They were worried that white patients would go elsewhere, and they did it anyway. They did their best to practice with no quality measures. Some of us would say that's a really good thing, and we never should have had those, but they had no quality measures. They had no data systems to track prevalence of disease. It was high, or control rates, it was low. But they did their best. It's fair to say that although health was poor for everyone, it was not equally experienced. Health and healthcare were not the same on both sides of the track. So too for the seasonal farm workers who bust in and out of town during planting or harvest seasons. Despite all these challenges, these people, these models for me, my folks, Flash and Mrs. Flash, the Crooks, my residents of my hometown, enjoyed a luxury that is in short supply today. And that luxury, that asset, is trust. Trust. That trust is a sacred bond between individuals. It's between teams and the people they're caring for. Trust feeds the caregivers, and it comforts those who are receiving care. Trust makes care work. Though waning for decades, long before the pandemic, trust in institutions, government included, has plummeted over the last 3 years. And yet, in this environment, rife with mistrust and distrust, you, during the pandemic, during your training, you stood up mass vaccination clinics and administered 1.5 million COVID vaccinations. serving some, I hear it's like 10,000 people a day in Dodger Stadium. You volunteered with CORE, the community organized relief effort. You led and served in teams, in community. You earned, you built, and you built back trust. It's fitting because you belong to a profession that has earned and honored the public's trust. It's also fitting that you will now carry forward a degree from a university planted deeply by intention, by design, by purpose in its community. Your experiences here, the actions you've taken, the lessons you've learned, and the relationships you've formed are the treasures that will shape your future. Let's talk about your future. I'll be straight with you. I would love for all of you to specialize in preventing heart disease and stroke, the nation's #1 and #5 killers, the major cause of maternal mortality and morbidity. I'd also like you to put at the top of your list the equitable detection and control of hypertension, affecting 1 in 2 American adults. Based on personal experience and a mountain of evidence, much of which generated by the California Right Meds Collaborative, led by Steve Chin, I know that you excel at this. You excel at chronic condition detection and management. So please, do that. Whatever health challenges you decide to tackle, please serve at that interface between healthcare and health. It's where population health lives. Whether it's in a community-based pharmacy where your teams can be of the community and best positioned to serve the community, or perhaps in companies that are innovating for a better future in a health department, or perhaps come and join me in federal service. I know many of you have already locked into place your next professional adventure, some very confident, deep and abiding confidence in you're doing the right thing, but there are probably others of you who have some indecision, some trepidation about your next steps, and rightly so. After all, you have just come through, as many speakers have already mentioned, and we don't need to, you've come through a once-in-100-years pandemic. It is absolutely right for you to question your professional priorities, for you to think deeply about your personal goals. All of us who survived the pandemic have a new lens. We bring a new lens to defining our purpose on the planet. So as one who's bounced around from her original plan to be a journalist, I wanted to be Barbara Walters when she was on the Today Show, to cardiology, to a stint in association leadership, a stint, that's an inside joke, right? And now federal service in public health. I'll wager right here today that you too will reinvent yourself. As you ricochet from the bumps and bruises from life and the delights and the discoveries, you too will redefine your purpose along the way. You'll find your highest good over and over. You too will leap, perhaps several times in the decades ahead. So I'm getting to the present. What could I bring you today? What can I give you to keep in your back pocket in case you need it as you're making decisions in the future? Polly was the first bird dog I ever knew. You see, in addition to healthcare, my family were hunters, and Polly was our leader. At the age of 7, I was spellbound when she caught the scent of a bird. Her head held high, her nostrils flaring. You could tell her heart was pounding, but she was stock still, except for a little quiver in her legs. Whether she was crashing through the brush to flush a covey of quail or splashing through a lake to retrieve a downed bird, Polly knew her mission, and she was wholly committed to it. She completely trusted her senses, and she lived her purpose on every single hunt. She reveled in it. Now, I can go on and on about Polly being a critical and unique team member with specialized skills and training, and how without her, the Wright family and our neighbors would never have known the pleasures of a duck or quail dinner. But all of that is obvious. The lesson I learned from Polly, and I apply to my own decision-making even today, pay attention when you catch a scent. Be still and listen to that. Is your heart pounding? Does that scent focus your mind and make your heart race? Track that path. Follow that trail. Trust your instincts and take a leap. As I close, my wish for you, the class of 2023, is a deeply fulfilling and long career filled with lots of chapters. A career in which you build and join and lead teams that help you serve the mission and the people that make you quiver. I have no doubt you will help communities all across the nation and the globe get well and stay well. Now let's get those diplomas and get going. Thank you.
Please welcome to the podium Dr. Melissa Durham.
You will notice today that the graduates are wearing many different cords and medallions. These cords and medallions signify students who have demonstrated outstanding academic performance, outstanding leadership, and outstanding service. Will the students with cords or medallions please stand to be recognized for your service, academic achievement, and leadership commitment?
We will now begin with the presentation of the degree recipients. Professional photographers will be taking multiple photos of each graduate as they receive their diploma. Please keep all aisles clear at all times for the graduates to return to their seats. We ask that you all remain in your seats at all times for everyone to be able to view the ceremony and for safety precautions. Each graduate, as their name is called, will come forward to be hooded. After hooding, each graduate will proceed to receive their diploma from Dean Papadopoulos. We will start with the hooding for graduates receiving the Doctor of Philosophy degree. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. Please welcome Associate Dean Terrence Graham to the podium and Dean Vasilios Papadopoulos to take his place for the presentation of degrees.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to introduce the recipients receiving Doctor of Philosophy degrees. I call upon Dr. Paul Berenger, Dr. Daryl Davies, Dr. Sergei Mangul, and Dr. Martine Kulti for the hooding of the Doctors of Philosophy in Clinical and Experimental Therapeutics. Dr. Yoonjin Hong, who is also receiving a Master in Regulatory Sciences, hooded by Dr. Paul Berenger. Dr. Isis Janalkarn Urena, who is also receiving a Master in Management of Drug Development degree, hooded by Dr. Daryl Davies. Dr. Curry Peng, who is also receiving a Master in Regulatory Management, hooded by Dr. Sergei Mangul. Dr. Haoyi Holly Tsui, who is also receiving a Master in Regulatory Science, hooded by Dr. Martine Culte. Thank you, Drs. Berenger, Davies, and Mangoul. I call upon Dr. Martine Culte and Dr. Vassilios Papadopoulos for the hooding of the Doctor of Philosophy in Molecular Pharmacology and Toxicology. Dr. Maya L. Corpus, hooded by Dr. Martine Culte. Dr. Samuel Kenneth Garza, who is also receiving a Master in Regulatory Sciences, hooded by Dr. Vassilios Papadopoulos. That's a genuflection before the dean. It's very respectful. Thank you, Dr. Culte. Please remain standing, Dr. Papadopoulos. I call upon Dr. Vassilios Papadopoulos, Dr. Zhiping Liu, Dr. Yong Tiger Zhang, and Dr. Clay Wang for the hooding of Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmaceutical Sciences. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmaceutical Sciences, Liting Chen, who is also receiving a Master in Regulatory Sciences, hooded by Dr. Vassilios Papadopoulos. Dr. Wilson Ho-Man Lee, hooded by Dr. Zhipeng Liu. Dr. Ryan Daniel Van Dam, hooded by Zhipeng Liu. Please refrain from throwing your hats until later in the ceremony. Dr. Jiawei Li, hooded by Dr. Yong Tiger Zhang. And Dr. Shuyi Lin, hooded by Dr. Clay Wang. Thank you, Drs. Papadopoulos, Liu, Zhang, and Wang. Please take your seats. Join me in congratulating our class of 2023 Doctor of Philosophy graduates.
Please welcome Dr. Yunju Pacifici, Chair of the Department of Regulatory and Quality Sciences.
it is my pleasure to announce the Doctor of Regulatory Science recipients. I call upon Dr. Francis Richmond for the hooding of the graduates. Dr. Mladen Bozic. Dr. Cheryl Hergert. Dr. Hai Long. Thank you, Dr. Richmond. Congratulations to our 2023 Doctor of Regulatory Science graduates.
Please welcome Associate Dean Dr. Irving Steinberg and Associate Dean Dr. Carrie Franson to the podium. Please hold your applause until all names have been called.
Dean, I did a quick calculation. I've actually been to a third of these commencements. And students, not the first one. Thank you very much. Dr. Franson,
yes,
welcome.
sir.
Everyone, families, friends, graduates, this is the moment you've been waiting for. We are honored and pleased to present the Doctor of Pharmacy graduates. We'll be right back.
Irving, if I may I introduce the very first Doctor of PharmD, Doctor of Pharmacy recipient, and that is Dr. Ryan Johnstonbaugh.
When one is called, you give me that, and then I call the other one.
And may I ask that Dr. Edith Mirzayan and Dr. Steve Chen please come to the stage for the hooding of our graduates.
Dr. Zorro Gasparian.
Saeed Farhad Haider Zaidi.
Dr. Emil Hovanesian.
Dr. Shuli Wang.
Dr. Ryan Aaron Babakani.
Dr. Crystal Texan Vinuya.
Dr. Anthony Goldenberg.
Dr. Richard C. Ta.
Dr. Leona Tarosian.
Dr. Tyler Yoshito Fukunaga.
Dr. Evelyn Nazarian.
Dr. Danny B.
Dr. Arlette Movsesian.
Dr. Francis Val Paletto.
Dr. Lisa Mekitarian.
Dr. Gina Kim.
Dr. Christine Kuryaegyon.
Dr. Jenny Jiwon Yoon.
Dr. Catherine Gurion.
Dr. Jung Woo Oh.
Dr. Karen Elena Balian.
Dr. Shawnee Park.
Dr. Christine Pasikian.
Dr. Pega Motashimi.
Dr. Zorik Johnny Tagmizian.
Dr. Dr. Anna Yancy Ramirez.
Dr. Ashley Baychan.
Dr. Vivi Mingchan Nguyen.
Dr. Anasik Yedgarian.
Dr. Amy Huang.
Dr. Arina Rita Abram.
Dr. Deesun Zuo.
Dr. Anna Zargarian.
Dr. Gangxiao Lu.
Dr. Irvin Purgasamyons.
Dr. Dr. Michelle Noel Diab.
Dr. Yassi Mojab.
Dr. Miriam Lamayi.
It's great. She owes you money, by the way. Dr. Nagar Hariri.
Dr. Nathan Garnica.
Dr. Vida Andon.
Dr. Philmon Holley.
Dr. Gayane Hakepchar Kirian.
Dr. Elsa Sheikhpour.
Dr. Luis Vida Rasagan Jr.
Dr. Angela Zabala.
Dr. Brian Paul Moser.
Dr. Alicia Louise Davis.
Dr. Mario Avalos Raboyar.
Dr. Ebony Zakaya King.
Dr. Ania Nazari.
Dr. Macy Taylor Shelley Gibson.
Dr. Aliza Sheikh.
Dr. Eugenio Karmava.
Dr. Renita Moradian.
Dr. George Ibrahim.
Dr. Michelle Ohm.
Dr. Shapator Noor Badoon.
Dr. Jasmine Hedvat.
Dr. Kayleen Okada.
Dr. Nika Kazimi.
Dr. Jessica Funan Zhou.
Dr. Nikki Mashiaken.
Dr. Allison Mayan Do.
This is why I increased my dental insurance just before graduation. Dr. Julian L. Reyes.
Dr. Joy Suji An.
Dr. Elianzo Beard Cristobal.
Dr. Vivian Juan Quinn.
And don't give it back. Dr. Nicholas Kwok Wow Win.
Dr. Yang Yu.
Dr. Sean Michael Papa.
Dr. Irene Chow Ho.
Dr. George Peter Smirnoff, who is also graduating with a master's in healthcare decision analysis.
Dr. Trammy Pham is also graduating with a master's in regulatory science.
Dr. Sylvestre Joshua Sanchez.
Dr. Elizabeth Ling.
Dr. Jeffrey Monivang Oak.
Dr. Zite Wen.
Dr. Jacqueline Elizabeth Motian.
Dr. Justin Li Ching Yer.
Dr. Madison Crutcher.
Dr. Chia Sin Wu.
Dr. Caitlin Ann Hernandez.
Dr. Lapman Hoyt.
Dr. Alexandra Rose Wild.
Dr. Marcela Ann Vargas.
Dr. Abina Anakade Agyamang.
Dr. Inderpreet Maan.
Dr. Aaron Boyer.
Dr. Joseph Cesar Ortiz.
Dr. Alex Tatio Shaverdian, who is also graduating with a master's in pharmaceutical sciences.
Dr. Karen Xiang.
Dr. Matthew Francis Tabio Garcia.
Dr. Anib Julian.
Dr. Gemma Sargisian.
Dr. Kelly Benson.
Dr. Mariam Boyajian.
Dr. Jessica Kim Barberi.
And Dr. Garo Boyajian.
Dr. Kathy Tiang Lu.
Dr. Sarman Hovsapian.
Dr. Joseph Pinto.
Dr. Levik Yusefian.
Dr. Clarissa Burana Sambauti.
Dr. Justin Markar.
Dr. Dina Basima Bitar.
Dr. Armin Manukian.
You point after him, so you're actually done. You're actually done. Oh, it's halfway already.
Okay. So I have to go the other way.
Dr. Jason Au.
Thank you, Dr. Mirzayan and Dr. Chen. Great job. I now call upon Dr. Cynthia Liu and Dr. Tian Ng to the stage to complete the hooding, or at least this portion of it. Dr. Paula Cardenas.
Dr. Amy Ying Chow.
Dr. Rosa Arapetian.
Dr. Richard Lowe.
Dr. Alice Hitayan.
Dr. Jenny, sorry. Dr. Johnny Nguyen.
Dr. Lolita Gabrielian.
Dr. Franklin Siddick.
Dr. Ellen Artashian.
Dr. Brandon Tang.
Dr. Shoshan Kahambekian.
Dr. Lyle Patrick Ureta.
And also graduating with a master's in global medicine, Nicole Abergel Collins.
Dr. Henry Fu.
Dr. Elizabeth Lee.
Dr. Bethany Paan.
Dr. Danielle Marilyn Cruz.
Dr. Taylor Ann Kwan.
Dr. Jessica Nicole Marquez de la Cruz.
Dr. Lynn Che.
Dr. Charlene Din.
Dr. Francesca Nicole Garcia.
Dr. Ashley Bowie.
Dr. Myung Marilyn Kim.
Trying to clear the traffic. Dr. Emily Ho.
Dr. Dorothy Lau Garleo.
Dr. Alisa Sam Laharde.
Also graduating with a Master's in Regulatory Science, Kaylee Dye.
Dr. Rita Chan.
Dr. Winnie Sue.
Dr. Joanna Leung.
Dr. Ashley Yoon-Ho Ching.
Dr. Kimmy Hang.
Dr. Connie Jinyi Lee.
Dr. Scott Vo.
Dr. Danielle Liu.
Dr. Lolito Lowe.
Dr. Anna Shu.
Dr. Evelyn Denise Camacho.
Dr. Allison Tomeko Ezaiki.
Dr. Karishma Parsi.
Dr. Wenchi Liu.
Dr. Janelle Francisco.
Also graduating with a Master's in Regulatory Science, Ngoc Tran Tran.
Dr. Vicky Nak Win.
Dr. Dwan Do.
Dr. Ryan Lung.
Dr. Amanda Y. Pan.
Dr. Karen Chan.
Also graduating with a master's in healthcare decision analysis, Mu Chiu.
Dr. Ingia Lu.
Dr. Yiding Lee.
Dr. Hai Ha.
Dr. Pei Wei Mai.
Dr. Ann Hwin.
Also graduating with a master's in healthcare decision analysis, Keishin Han.
Dr. Ying Ying Tran.
Also graduating with a master's in regulatory science, Regina Lee.
Dr. Darlene Fung.
Dr. Christine Van.
Dr. Michelle Sun.
Dr. Vanessa Lamb.
Dr. Amelia Zadorian.
I don't have any. Dr. Steinberg, I'm done on this side.
Say what?
I'm done on this side.
You're done?
I'm done.
I always get the extra work. Why is that? Oh, good. We have more students. Dr. Cynthia Hatamzadeh. Dr. Elizabeth Karen Liu.
Walk behind them.
Dr. Hannah Deep Luong. Boy, talk about an even division of labor. Dr. Zachary Pham. Dr. Catherine Ann Castro Aquino.
I guess not. Yes, I guess I have to dismiss you.
Dr. Katerina Kachadurian. Dr. Joseph Anthony Gregor. Dr. Jeffrey Valenzuela Serrano. Dr. Kaiser Hakim. Thank you, Dr. Liu and Dr. Ng. We will now have some special hooders for some special students. To be hooded by her sister, Dr. Sophia Trobadian, from the Marshall B. Ketchum University class of 2021, is Armin Amy Garcevanian. To be hooded by her mother, who I taught, Dr. Jennifer Ting Chan from the class of 2003 of USC, is someone I taught, Rebecca Geke Chan. Mom, you did a great job, and not just with the hooding. To hood her sister, Dr. Jenny Kang Lazao, from the Touro College of Pharmacy class of 2015, will now hood her sister, Jennifer Tran. From the USC class of 2008, Dr. Tina Vo will now hood her sister, Dr. Vivian Vo. From the class of 1986 from the Bombay College of Pharmacy, Dr. Neil Badlani will now coat his son, or hood his son, Dr. Rashni Badlani. Oh, her, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If I don't look to my left, I'm in big trouble. Dr. Melissa Kim Manion, who graduated from the University of Maryland, class of 2012, will now be coding her brother, Michael Tae Ho Kim. From the class of 2015, from the Western University of Health Sciences, Dr. Diana Wynn will now hood Dr. Nancy Wynn. From USC's class of 2019, Dr. Ellen Lee will now hood her sister, Dr. Kimberly Lee. Wow, and you do that without a horn. That's amazing. Okay, Mom. Dr. Marianne Ju Wong from the class of 1980 USC will now hood her son, Brian Colin Wong. All right, Dr. Franson, I think I've spent my bonus already. How about you?
Absolutely. But actually, I get the opportunity to thank and congratulate the class of 2023 Doctor of Pharmacy graduates.
Please welcome Dr. Clay Wang, Chair of the Pharmacology and Pharmaceutical Science Department, and Terrence Graham, Associate Dean for Graduate Education and Postdoctoral Studies, who will call the Master of Science in Clinical and Experimental Therapeutics, Molecular Pharmacology and Toxicology, and Pharmaceutical Science degrees. Please hold your applause until all names have been called.
It is my pleasure to introduce the recipients receiving Master of Science degrees. I call upon Dr. Roger Duncan, Associate Professor and Program Director in Pharmacology and Pharmaceutical Sciences, and Dr. Liana Asitron, Program Director for the Master of Science in Clinical and Experimental Therapeutics to hood the graduates. Terrence? No, what?
For the degree Master of Science, Clinical and Experimental Therapeutics. Kushbu Patel.
Sun Woo Kim.
Rayan Aburujub.
Yuan Zidan.
Nader Mastofi.
Alex Mann.
Aditi Ashish Datta.
Amina Vikar Aman Khan.
Shubham Girish Maiwada.
Priyanka Ravindra Malusari.
Reva Nevrikar.
Vinny Patel.
Arax Shanlian.
Zhang Xingming.
Yuanteng Zhao.
Xu Chenxing.
Meta Nairuti Milan Parul.
Anushka Yadav.
Jay Mehta.
Khadija Swadi.
Dima Sharif.
Yang Yingduo.
Aditya Naik.
Ronak Tarum Shetia.
Snigdha Ramesh Hiremat.
Unati Hemad Shah.
Yiren Zhu.
Naresh Amrad Patel.
Wei Yujun.
Rohit Penesh Mesa.
Xiao Suo Yin.
Tejani Ramesh.
Li Yao Tan.
Aprana Ram.
Handan Hong.
Tao Tianze.
Chiu Shi Peng.
Yao Chang.
Yunyi Jia.
Zhen Zixuan. Congratulations.
Xiao Yuang Li.
Luo Haozong.
Next is
Jing Su Yu.
So that was everybody.
Thank you, Drs. Duncan and our assistant. I now call upon Dr. Daniel Tomaszewski and Professor John Stofko of the Master of Science in Healthcare Decision Analysis program for announcing each graduate, and Drs. Ken Wong and Jeffrey Joyce footing of each Healthcare Decision Analysis graduates.
Gabriel Tafoya.
Good, Doctor.
Alexa Ozonian.
Edward Chow.
Natalie Slim.
Ernie Asan.
Nayeli Camacho.
Yoon Hao.
Miley Saito.
Ming Song Schwan.
Kairati Chukar.
Yi Shran Zhou.
Zuoji Wong.
Lakshmi Palavela.
Minhei Liu.
Reja Mika.
Ruchi Yang.
Yifei Shui.
Yantong Li.
Jessica Wang.
Diwa Song.
Yangi Lu.
Ejen Wong.
Jiahan Sun.
Ishi Tang.
Yijia Li.
Beer Chen.
Geraldine Zhang.
Lingyi Wu.
Xinyan Gao.
Xia Chen.
Chanzo Li.
Ian Ma.
Jiawen Du.
Chi Chi Zhang.
Ziqing Wang.
I now call upon Professor John Sofko to announce the graduate of the Master of Science in Biopharmaceutical Marketing and Dr. Jeff Joyce for the hooding of each Biopharmaceutical Science Marketing graduates.
Amir Al-Humairi. Cheyenne Langha. Michelle Marvin. Daniel Lowe. Jamie Dufashard. Xiaomin Shi. Ting Han. Elong Liu. Shenkai Lin. Good. Good. That's it.
Please welcome back Dr. Yunju Pasifisi to the podium.
I now call upon Dr. Susan Bain to assist in announcing each graduate. It is our pleasure to announce the Master of Science degree recipients from the Department of Regulatory and Quality Sciences. I call upon Dr. Francis Richmond and Dr. Daryl Davies for the hooding of the Master of Science in Regulatory Management, Medical Product Quality, and Management of Drug Development. Dr. Rajiv Lochan Tiwari.
Brandis Rosenthal. I'm sorry? Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I don't.
Isabella Santoyo.
Paula Shi.
Carson Alexander Folk.
Yu Quinn Ku. Oh. Sorry.
Wait, Yiching.
What is this for?
Yiching Hu.
Pei Shun Wahang.
Ethan Colin Hong.
Yi Ting Wu.
Harlan Tsui.
Elizabeth Ann Drennan.
Griffin August Riggs.
Daisy Sosa. Ya Sing Pu.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Darrell Davies. I now call upon Dr. Nancy Smirkanich to join Dr. Francis Richmond for the hooding of the Master of Science in Regulatory Science. Sean Durley.
Chen Yi Wu.
Carolina Mariola Kutnik.
Jessica Denise Cerna.
Nicholas Alexander Newmouth. Ariana Bell Provecto.
Not yet. I don't think we can leave yet.
Melissa Liu.
We don't have any more on our side. Huh? No?
Christina Boafo.
It's just uneven.
Ganesh Gajanan Jadav. Dhruvan Shah. Naisargi Patel. Simran Rusher Shah. Nimisha Updev Yai. Jingrui Lee. Dr. Smirkanich. Anjali Proba Khandelwal. Ananta Yashawini Devinini. Shambhavi Jayan Nabar. Token Mukhanova. Shuri Grama Anil.
Good girl,
Thank
girl.
you.
Nancy Shiv Balodia. Congratulations to all of our class of 2023 Master of Science graduates.
Please welcome to the podium Dr. Tam Phan, Assistant Professor of Clinical Pharmacy in the Titus Family Department of Clinical Pharmacy, and Dr. Liana Asatrian, Assistant Teaching Professor of Clinical Pharmacy in the Titus Family Department of Clinical Pharmacy. Please hold your applause until all names have been called.
It is my pleasure to announce the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biopharmaceutical Sciences. Dr. Daryl Davies, Associate Dean of the Undergraduate Education at the USC Mann School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, will join the Dean in presenting the diploma. To Anthony Menlinguez. Dr. Asatrian and I now have the pleasure to announce the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Pharmacology and Drug Development. Amen Best Obenor.
Albright Bat Dorj.
Alaya Veronica Cam.
Sydney Ting.
Daniela Kovo.
Natalie Amirzian.
Eric Christopher Jurado.
Hong Hang Corinne Lee.
Juliana Angela Marie Reyes Montano.
William Peter Nagantang.
Ashley Mitsue Ozaki.
Gabino Resendez, Jr.
John Andrew Seville.
Ellery Ashton Talgo.
Justin Hu. Thank you, Dr. Davies. Congratulations to our class of 2023 Bachelors of Science graduates.
Please welcome Dr. Bill Gong and Dr. Lisa Goldstone to announce those who have completed their advanced training within the residency and fellowship programs. Please hold your applause until all names have been called.
So it is our pleasure to introduce the residents who will be receiving their teaching certificate from USC Mann, as well as their residency certificate from their respective programs. We will call their name and their residency program type. Residents, please stand and approach the stage. PGY2 Infectious Diseases Pharmacy, Dr. Ashley Guanzan. PGY2 Neurology Pharmacy, Stephanie Early. PGY2 Psychiatric Pharmacy, Dr. Nisha Bavsar. PGY1 Community-Based Pharmacy, Dr. Ala Babakanians. Dr. Nora Garabedian. Dr. Yelam Jung. Dr. Foon E. Lay. PGY1 Pharmacy, Dr. Haley Clyett. Dr. Allison Flores. Dr. Michael Habtazian. Dr. Fakim In. Dr. William Kim. Dr. Andy Lee. Dr. Sherry Morimoto. Dr. Khan Wong Nguyen. Dr. Vivian Pham. Dr. Winter Roth. Dr. Courtney Saturn. Dr. Prisha Shait. Dr. Aisha Vayani. Dr. Mia Vang. Dr. Kyle Vo. Dr. Jessica Wei. Dr. Kelsey Wong. And Dr. Aaron Yamanaka. Congratulations to all the 2023 residents on the completion of your program.
Okay, we're coming to the end. It is my pleasure to introduce the fellows who will be receiving their fellowship certificates from their respective programs. I will call their name and their fellowship program. Fellows, please stand and approach the stage. Dr. Roxana Blackwood. Fellowship in Medical Scientific Information. Dr. Leslie Chan. Portfolio Strategy and Project Management. Dr. Sarah Mahmood, Academic Pharmacy. Dr. Avet Manukian, Medical Affairs. Dr. Paru Singh, Immunology. Dr. Katie Sue, Medical Affairs. Dr. Janelle Villamore, Global Regulatory Affairs. Congratulations to all of our 2023 fellows.
Please welcome Dr. Richard Dang to administer the oath of a pharmacist, together with the 2023 Doctor of Pharmacy graduates.
All right, we are almost done. All right. So, the oath of the pharmacist can be found on the back page of your program. Please turn to that now. I will ask all Doctor of Pharmacy graduates and any pharmacist in the audience and on stage to please rise and stand. Please raise your right hand and recite the oath of the pharmacist along with me. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will promote inclusion, embrace diversity, and advocate for justice to advance health equity. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for all patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the responsibility to improve my professional knowledge, expertise, and self-awareness. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. You may be seated. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Please welcome Dr. Annie Wong Behringer back to the podium.
Congratulations to you all. At this time, I would like to recognize the loved ones of our graduates for whose support and sacrifice made this special day possible. Congratulations, this is the day you've been waiting for. I would like to specifically ask the parents, spouses, children, significant others, and close loved ones of the graduates to please rise and be acknowledged. Join in applauding all those who support our graduates. Thank you.
And now, please welcome back to the podium, Dean Vasilios Papadopoulos.
Almost there. So at this time, I would like to ask the members of the graduating class to reach under your seat and pick up a glass, fill your glass, and stand. It's a lot of work, something you are not used to do. Will the members of the faculty, residents, and fellows please fill your glasses also? And all rise and join me in a toast to the new graduates. To all of you, best wishes in your lives and careers. Take what you learn here and make a difference in a world that needs your talents. I hope you keep in close contact and always remember you are a valued member of the Trojan family. Congratulations. And fight on.
All guests, please remain seated during the recessional and continue to keep the aisles clear. Please join us after the ceremony for a light reception in Argue Plaza, located directly behind you. Staff members are available to help you direct you to the reception. And now, please join me in welcoming the USC Trojan Marching Band.